Hello everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with your Monday to Friday update for Bitcoin and XRP. I keep forgetting to tell you this, but if you've just found my channel, please hit the like and subscribe button so that you don't lose it, because I'm giving you 5 days a week my expertise, 16 years experience, 11 of which is a CMT, for free for Bitcoin and XRP. And Tuesday to Saturday, Jack Frost, who I've been training for a couple of years now, and he's a solid technical analyst, is giving you for free his expertise for Ethereum and Solana. So don't lose this channel. You want to keep it so that you can stay on top of what these markets are doing. And they're going up, which is really good to see. Not so much range yet so far, but it's only 10:43 a.m. New York's time so far for the current session. But yesterday's session has ended with a really nice bullish long lower wick. The previous session, I've heard these referred to as God candles. I think that's quite appropriate. We saw it back here though, so it doesn't necessarily, we saw it again here. We saw some big red ones here, a couple over here. So it doesn't necessarily mean that price has to continue on up. It just means that there's an increase in range as a measure of volatility. So volatility favours the bullish side. Bitcoin is still within this huge rectangle, resistance 73,100 to 71,500, and support now, why does that say resistance? There, fixed it. Support now about 55,000, maybe a little bit lower, maybe about 54,300. It's been swinging from resistance to support, now expecting overall an upward swing to resistance. Let's see how price behaves when it gets up to resistance. I'm expecting it's reasonably likely, I'd say maybe 60-70% likely we're going to have an upward breakout. Before we do, we could have a little pullback around this zone of resistance. If it breaks through quite quickly, that increases the probability that it's just going to move up and away. But if we have some pullback here, then it could be that that's the end of the upward swing. So I'd like to see it just break on through really quickly and cleanly when it gets back up to 73,100. Volume overall is now pushing price higher. We didn't have an increase yesterday. It doesn't have to be day on day. We're looking at generally the trend, and overall now there is some increasing volume as price moves higher, so that's good to see. ADX is declining. There's no clear trend. The DX lines have crossed a potential change from down to up, but with the black ADX line declining, there is no clear trend indicated. There was bullish divergence at the last low after RSI reached oversold. Now RSI is in neutral, still a ways to go before it gets overbought. When this market has a bullish run, RSI can get very deeply overbought. It can remain there for a while price travels a very considerable distance. This market has a strong bullish bias. RSI can be very extreme, and sometimes it'll exhibit multiple divergence before we have a bull run come to an end. But quite often it won't exhibit any divergence, because Bitcoin's bullish runs tend to end with a lot of strength. Because there's huge strength right at the end, you may not see bearish divergence between RSI as a measure of strength and price. Money flow is neutral. That didn't reach oversold, but it got not even that close really, kind of close-ish maybe. ATR is showing an increase as price moves higher. Volume is starting to push price higher. Range is starting to increase. Volatility and volume favour the bullish side for Bitcoin, so let's expect it to continue higher to at least 71,500 to 73,500. The Elliott Wave count for XRP, I'm just going to look at my main daily chart, and we're looking at a 5-step up pattern. I'm not going to label it complete, although we do now have some bearish long upper wicks developing. These are warnings that the 5-step forward pattern, which I'm labeling my Newt Wave 1, could be coming to an end now, sooner rather than later. Assume the trend remains the same, up, until proven otherwise. Proven otherwise would be a candlestick below and not touching the lower edge of this trend channel, or a bearish candlestick reversal pattern. When 5 steps forward is complete, we'll be looking for 3 steps back, which may not move beyond the start of the first wave or the 5-step forward pattern below 0.3838. When we have 5 steps forward complete, I'll draw a Fibonacci retracement along it, apply a logarithmic function to that, and I'll expect the second wave correction, a 3-step back pattern, to find support at the log function of the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio. I apply a log function to Fibonacci retracements for cryptocurrencies to account for their extreme volatility. XRP has nicely, finally broken above resistance, which was at 55 cents. So let's expect that area now to provide quite strong support. It may today be able to close above next resistance at 60 cents. If it does, let's expect that area to provide support. But 55 cents is the strongest support at this time. I am expecting that this area has probably been broken because we've got 2 days up and away after it's broken above, well, really only 1 day if you count this day, closing above what was resistance of 55 cents, a substantial close above that area, and now another solid green candlestick. So I have some reasonable confidence that resistance, which was at 55 cents, has now been broken and is now likely to provide support. Let's look for next resistance along the way up at 0.675. Volume overall is pushing price higher. A little bit of a decline in the last completed upward session, maybe a little bit of some weakness coming along with those bearish upper wicks. ADX tells us there's an upward trend. It's a reasonable way to go yet before it reaches extreme. RSI is now overbought, so in conjunction with those bearish upper wicks, a little bit of a decline in volume. And overbought RSI sounding some warnings. The 5-step forward pattern, you can expect it to come to an end fairly soon now, most likely. Money flow is approaching overbought. If this one gets overbought, then the warning of the 5-step forward pattern, that first wave up, being complete would be even louder. I want to see a bearish candlestick reversal pattern and or a breach of that rather narrow channel that I showed you on my daily Elliott Wave chart for XRP before I have confidence that the 5 steps up is complete and we're in a 3-step back pattern. Volume and volatility are increasing with upward movement. Volume and volatility favour bullish movements at the moment for XRP, which is very good to see, and bullish for the longer term. That's it from me with your quick update for those guys today. I hope you're all having a lovely day. If you have any questions for me, ask them in comments. It gives me some ideas of other things to cover to try and make these videos a little bit more varied for you and a little bit more educational. But while markets are moving quite quickly, I certainly expect I will be here every day to keep things nice and calm and give you my take on what's happening. So thank you all very much for your support and for your engagement.